Hi, I have a poem for you today. It's one of my favorite poems. The title is Bad Words. I want to read it to you. We're not going to do any predicting on this one. I just want you to listen to this poem and think about what's happening so we can talk about it later. Are you ready? By the way, it's from a book called Giant Children, and it's by Broad Baggert. And the illustrations are by Ted Arnold. And both of these, the author and the illustrator, are two of my favorites. Anything by them is going to be good. So listen to the poem, Bad Words. She actually said it. She said it in class. It sounded so nasty. It sounded so crass. The children stared. The teacher scowled. The custodian cried, and the principal howled. Then poor little Patty, my very best friend, she opened her mouth and she said it again. Bad words, bad words, we all began to chant. Never, 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 never say the words, I can't. Today we're going to talk about reading with expression. What do you know already about reading with expression? I bet you heard about it last year and the year before, and I bet you've heard people read with expression. I want you to take a minute and just think about that. What does it mean? What does it look like or sound like when someone is reading with expression? And why is this important? Why is it important to read with expression? So that's our learning target today, is I can read with expression. When this lesson is finished, you're going to have opportunities to practice reading a poem and showing your expression, and we're going to have 2 success criteria. So the first thing we're going to think about today is showing the meanings of words using our face and our voice and our body. The second thing we're going to think about is how we can adjust our voice using punctuation. All right, so let's get going. Earlier, I read the poem Bad Words by Broad Baggert to you. I was demonstrating what reading with expression sounds like and looks like. So the first thing I want you to know is that you can show the meanings of words using your voice, your face, and your body movements. Let's take a look. I'm going to reread this first stanza over here. And I want you to notice how I am showing the meaning of some of the words. For example, when I read the word, underline it for us. I'm in the one place. Actually, I said it actually. She actually said it. Like, can you believe it? That's what I'm trying to communicate there. Can you believe it? She said bad words. So I've practiced it so many times that that's what I want to show my listener is, can you believe it? She said it in class. Class? So I emphasize the word class with my voice because she said it like in public, in front of other people. Bad words, right? Now, you know I'm not talking about terrible words, things I wouldn't say in class. I'm just talking about, we've already read it, so we know I'm talking about the bad words, I can't. Because we want to think positive. I can't yet, or I can't, but not I can't ever, right? Now, we also know the word nasty. Most of us know that that word means something not good. It can even have like a smell to it. So when I read it, I said, I used my nose, my facial expression. It sounded so nasty. And I kind of made my nose look like it smelled. And then it sounded so crass. Crass is a word that means something you shouldn't say in public, something that is just, it's not good manners. All right, do you see how I'm showing the meanings of words using my face and my voice? And I could also use my body. Here's what I want you to do. Before we move on, I want you to practice using your voice or your face or your body. You can use your hands. You can stand up. You can do this. And I just want you to choose one line from the poem to practice. And I want you to practice showing what the words mean using your face and your body. Okay, so for example, I did the first stanza. You could choose something from the second stanza. So you might practice this one. The children stared. Did you notice my eyes? Now you do it. This next line says, the teacher scowled. Do you know what the word scowled means? Well, she's saying bad words, so what do you think, using the context, it might mean? Yes, the teacher is not happy. Practice that line, read that line to yourself, and make that face like you're not happy. All right, now you can pause the video right now if you'd like to, and you can keep practicing some lines. Remember, to be successful, reading with expression, we need to show the meanings of words using our voice, our face, or our body. Our second success criteria says, I can read it with expression, and here it says right here, I can adjust my voice using punctuation. Now this last stanza really works well because there's a whole lot of punctuation. Did you notice the quotation marks? Did you see the comma? Did you see the exclamation point? And look, I even have these 3 little dots. Do you know what that's called? It's an ellipsis. Now, if I'm going to read with expression, I have to pay attention to the punctuation marks. So for example, I know she's talking. The narrator is talking. So I'm going to say bad words, bad words. I'm going to emphasize my voice with that exclamation point. We all began to chant, never, never, never. Did you see how I stretched out never a little bit there? Never say the words, I can't. Did you notice how I paused for the ellipsis? That's what an ellipsis tells the reader to do. It says pause. And you're pausing for dramatic effect. Let your listener have to anticipate, or, oh, what's she going to say? What's going to happen? So I'm using those punctuation marks to create the expression. Now it's your turn. I want you to practice reading this last stanza. Now, some things to remember. Change your voice to show the exclamation point. Stop at that period on line 2. Pause for that ellipsis right over here on the last line. And remember, think about how you should read those last 2 words. What do you notice? So why did the poet Broad Baggart write those 2 words in all capital letters? So how should you read it? All right, so stop the video, practice for a few minutes reading that part, and then we'll get going again. Okay, are you ready to read to me? You're going to read to me to show me that you hit the learning target today. I can read with expression, and you're going to use the success criteria we went over as you're reading with expression. Now, here's what you're going to need to do. You're going to need to select a poem. I want to give you some choices of poems that you can select. I want you to think about what the author is trying to show the reader in the poem. I also want you to think about how many times you might need to practice reading the poem. I think you will need to practice reading the poem at least 5 times. Think about how you can use your face or body to show the meaning of the poem. And that's what's going to change your voice. Your voice, your read aloud expression voice is what we're looking for here. Now be sure and pay attention to those punctuation marks. That was one of our success criteria, right? We want to remember to think about how each punctuation mark should sound. Now, when you're ready, you're going to go to Flipgrid and you're going to record yourself reading the poem. I can't wait to hear your reading with expression on Flipgrid. Have fun.